Sports concussions have gotten a lot of media attention lately, most recently when the NFL announced concussions will no longer be shrugged off as just part of the game. Oregon is also making changes at the high school level. In tonight's special report, Concussion Dangers, NewsSource 16's Kelly Warner shows us what's being done to protect young athletes.
A concussion is where there's traumatic injury to the brain. Oftentimes, it's because an athlete falls, gets hit, or kicked. And the danger increases when an athlete gets right back into the game without taking time to heal. Starting this fall, that won't be allowed for high school athletes or their coaches.
This is what I love to do. I wouldn't give it up for anything.
Mackenzie Aiken loves to cheer for the Thurston Colts. Yes! But early in the school year, this JV cheerleader was unexpectedly sidelined when a stunt went wrong.
And I felt her come down on my head, and then I was on the ground. I don't remember falling.
After the initial jolt, Mackenzie says she actually felt okay. So she shook it off and went right back to practicing.
I practiced for a week with the concussion before it got to the point where our trainer's like, you need to go to a doctor.
If you run the numbers in Oregon, it's probably 1,000 high school kids a year get concussions.
Sports medicine physician Dr. Michael Keister says concussions are tricky. Unlike a broken bone, they can't be seen on an X-ray.
So I can get a CAT scan or an MRI. It's not going to show me any bleeding or swelling or anything like that in the case of a concussion. It's going to be normal, but your brain doesn't function normally.
What's more, doctors can't measure the severity of a concussion. They can't predict how long it will take an athlete to recover or what long-term effects a concussion might cause. So to help protect high school athletes in Oregon, the state has passed a new law effective at the start of the new school year in the fall. First, all high school coaches must undergo mandatory concussion education. Second, if an athlete suffers a concussion, he or she cannot return to play that day, and the athlete must stay sidelined until he or she is free of symptoms and cleared by a doctor. Dr. Keister says even in the safest of circumstances, accidents happen. While we were talking with Mackenzie during practice, a cheerleader took a tumble right in view of our camera. It can happen on the football field, the soccer field, or the basketball court. And oftentimes, girls are at a higher risk for concussions than boys.
Now, why is that? Part of it, people think maybe due to neck musculature and that the boys have more muscle mass in their neck. They may be able to attenuate the force of the head snapping or moving. We're not sure. Some people think that the girls may be more likely to report their symptoms.
But it goes beyond the field and the court. A concussion can also impact an athlete's ability to learn in the classroom.
So the key things that we look for are headaches, but also other things like confusion.
I was just confused all the time, especially taking my math class. I had no idea what was going on.
Dizziness, kind of this mental fogginess.
I couldn't concentrate at all.
All told, the mishap that Mackenzie wrote off as nothing ended up costing her 6 weeks on the squad. Now she says she's much more aware of the danger and the importance of paying attention to the signs. And Dr. Michael Keister, who you heard from there, was part of the group who worked quite a long time to put these new practices in place. Right now, the OSAA is working on the education piece of the new law. It's aiming to have an interactive online program available to coaches by early spring or summer. I'm Kelly Warner, NewsSource 16.